So, hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. This is Gwen going live and waiting for Jen Oliver to join me. We had this set up oh gosh, a couple months ago, and I now actually have a Cox cable man here to give me better internet service. So hopefully Jen will hop on and we'll get going and it's scheduling. Those scheduling things, they're just crazy. And God, I guess I could actually like reached out to her and said, "Hey, could you give me a few minutes?" But I'd promoted everything, so you kind of got to see a little bit of my space. And Blanca is here. Yay, Blanca! Hi, Jen. Where are you, Jen? Well, this is good. I'm gonna just say that if we can't get Jen on, I will get her rescheduled. And maybe even later today. Oh, Jen, you're there. Awesome. Okay. I'm going to add you in. Okay. Here you come. Yay, Jen. Oh, yeah. So it's day 157. More days to just 200 days left. Hey, Jen. Oh my gosh. You look so amazing.
Hello. Oh, thank
Hi.
you. Hi. Thanks for having
Hi.
me.
Yes, and I'm so embarrassed. I scheduled the Cox guy at the same time because they never arrive on time, and this one did. I'm like so
All right.
impressed, and that well, my mom's here; she can take care of it, but she doesn't know where things go. And it's
Oh,
more
okay.
important to me that I mean, it took us we scheduled this like a couple months ago. It seems like,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
flexible.
So
No worries.
yeah, well, and I know you're just like you're pure love and you bring
Oh,
so much, and that's why I wanted to have you on here for, ask how do I love myself today. And I was going through your book today and was
no.
looking at chapter 3 on letting go, and the oh, where is it? Love Fit Mama. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, Love Fit
Yes.
Mama, and you're talking about choices, and I mean, love you're loving yourself as a choice. And I would love for you to share a bit about your journey
Yeah.
and how you became Love Fit Mama and a TEDx speaker and a published best-selling author, and
Thank
you've
you.
done all of these amazing things in such a short period of time, and I'd love to hear about your story and what you would share with people on how they can choose to love themselves today.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. I mean, I'd love to say that I knew all along that it all starts with love, but unfortunately, I had to have some rough times, rough goes, times where I didn't treat myself with all the love in the world. And that really led me to realizing what was most important. And I mean, my journey with the Love Fit Mama way, and I think why I have been able to, produce an extreme amount of content, creating the book, creating the TED Talk and all that, my program that I created with the Fit Mama Foundations. It all really came, I think, by getting really, really crystal clear on what it took me to actually change the way that I was looking at things, because I very much was, you know, what I would think would be an average mom postpartum, where I had a lot of, feelings that I should look a certain way, my life should look a certain way, my family should look a certain way, I have to do things a certain way to do them right. And I guess what really happened after I hurt myself really, really badly, and I actually just started going, what really needs to happen in this phase, right? This new mom phase, we're not just the same old bodies that we were before, and we can go back to doing exercises that we did before without taking that pit stop along the road of rehabilitation, reconnecting with the core, not only physically of who we are, but the core of who we are in terms of our beliefs. What do we really believe in? What are we really living by every day that maybe we thought was important at some point in our life, but we've never reevaluated to see that those aren't priorities anymore, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so important. I mean, you have two beautiful children, a beautiful husband, and you still you're able to do all that you've done. I'm just,
I think it's
it's so
really,
impressed.
it's a big thing was for me realizing that, there was a need, and me not talking, me hiding, me thinking that writing a book is a lot of work actually wasn't helping anybody. And it wasn't that it wasn't
I needed
hard
to hear that.
work. Yeah,
I
cute.
really needed to hear that. Thank you so
Good, Gwen.
much.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you so
It's
much.
not that it's easy. It's not that it's, oh yeah, just do it and, don't think about it. But really what it is people are out there who are struggling. They are struggling with what I was struggling with before I hurt myself, after I hurt myself, all the emotions that come with postpartum, all the hormones, all the physical changes. And if I was keeping my mouth shut and letting people keep injuring themselves and keep feeling negative about themselves, I was so inspired to do my TEDx talk, which is called How to Love Yourself to the Core. So it totally fits in with your mantras over here. Yeah. But it really is about taking a step back and realizing that we really truly can't fully love another person or be there for people in the way that we want to as women, as moms, as humans, for ourselves, for our families and our communities, if we aren't beginning with that love for ourselves, right? And if we are just starting with the superficial, the external, thinking that how things appear is more important than how they really are down under, it just isn't going to
Yeah,
work long term.
not at all.
No,
No. So
no.
the clarity and the knowing that other people were going to hurt themselves if you didn't open up your mouth and share. It's
Exactly. And
really, really
realizing that
beautiful.
there was a lot of, there's a lot of miscommunication out there. People are being fed by society and choosing to absorb certain beliefs and philosophies. And until there's sort of that wake up call of, oh, okay, that doesn't work anymore, we kind of go along through the motions. And I think the biggest thing is talking about it, being vulnerable myself, saying, yeah, I injured myself. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know anything about the deep inner core. Now I do. Let me share it. And the more we talk about it, the more people are actually coming out and saying, yeah, I also do that. I also feel that. I also am not
Yes.
talking about that because I didn't know who to talk to and I was embarrassed or something else. So opening up the
Yes.
conversation is really important too.
Cool. So Sean is on with us and he says he totally supports these ideas. And also Jeffo just joined us and Donato joined us and where are our mamas?
Yeah,
We've got all
they're
these
out
lovely guys.
there.
Oh,
They're
Blanca's
out
with us too.
there.
But yeah, they're definitely out there and they'll catch this if not while we're here
Yeah.
on the
You know,
replay.
one of the
And
things I
yeah,
always say, Gwen, is, and I have this on a slide at the very end of my TED Talk, and it really encompasses sort of what I'm talking about in general with the Love Fit Mama way and what I really believe around loving ourselves and taking care of ourselves is really about loving the body and life that you have now. And then you have the body and life you love. It's not this place you need to strive to. It's loving what is. And that's where most of the unhappiness and dis-ease comes from, is wishing things were like this, wanting things to be different. Oh, if he just did this, if he just understood me, if she just listened to me. When really, if you can just enjoy and love what is, that changes the whole energy and dynamic with which you live your life and the choices you make, the behaviors you engage in. I mean, I could sit here all day and think, oh my gosh, I don't have enough time. Oh my gosh, I'm such a bad mom. Oh, I still have to do this. Oh, I mean, you could even see my laundry basket behind me here and like my shoes messy in the corner. I mean, it's full on. And if we are always worried about my house should look perfect, if I'm a good mom and I've got it all together, I should also have a spotless house and be cooking all day. And, there's these
yeah,
expectations that really aren't a reality. And living in that place where we want things to be different, it just leaves us feeling so depleted and scarce, and nothing feels like it's ever going to work out.
Oh my gosh, that really hits home because I know how much time it takes to feed yourself and others. I mean, it can be a full-time job, especially if you're working on feeding someone well and
Yes,
preparing all the food, not just throwing something microwave in the oven
for
and it
sure.
creates a mess. And
Yeah.
you
It's
literally can
a full
cook all
time,
day
all day
long.
and all night. Exactly.
Exactly. And then on
Exactly.
top of that, write a book,
Yeah.
be out there speaking, sharing, working with clients and helping them transform their lives. And you work with clients physically as well as online, right?
You know what? I only work online now. I only do
Oh,
workshops in
fantastic.
person and retreats now, which is exciting,
Okay.
but mostly online. And,
Okay.
it's one of the things that I've realized with time. I did have to have certain boundaries, and I do talk about this in the
Right.
book. Time is one of those things that we can use as an excuse, but it's also kind of false evidence appearing real. It's like we think we
Right.
don't have enough time, we think we don't have the support or the tools or whatever we think we need. But at the end of the day, we do. And it's just about prioritizing. And I mean, I have to admit, I don't watch TV. I don't know how to turn on my TV.
Awesome.
I do set boundaries
But
around
you
other
read a
things,
bunch.
mostly because I'm not interested. Yeah. I mean, I do watch here and there some documentaries, but I really follow what is my passion, what lights me up, and I really say no now to things that I don't want to do. Where for a longest time, I was like, oh, they'll be mad if I don't come. She won't like me. They'll be this, and it's like, no. I write a whole chapter on obligations and managing them in my book because that's the one thing. And we as women, it's unfortunate, but we are a lot of the time conditioned to let me help everybody. Let me put myself on the back burner. Let me do for everyone else what I would never do for myself. And it just leaves us feeling so depleted and exhausted.
Yeah. You have hit so many pain points that even not as a mama that I'm really
You
resonating with.
know,
The loving the life that you have already and then and the body that you have already, then that's what you're loving.
it's the
And
gift
you're
that
not
you are
it's a
given,
gift.
and I think
Yes.
we can all find things. I'm like, wow, I could think of these 5 things I didn't do. Okay, yes, sure, I wrote a book. Well, I didn't, do this, right? I wasn't on Oprah or whatever. I could
Right.
think of things that I didn't do. But what does that
Well,
serve
that's
us,
coming.
right? Yeah, yay, someday. But what does that serve us? And we spend so much time in this negative place where we're either negative thinking about ourselves, we're negative thinking about others. He should this, she should that, this should be this way. And it absolutely leaves us completely vacant from being there in the moment. And I do a lot of research, and like you said, I read a lot of books. And one of the things I really like reading is sort of these end of life statements, which sounds a bit morbid, to be honest. It's like, when people are dying, like I'm reading their most intimate thoughts. But for me, that connects me to enjoying the real today by knowing at the end of my life, people don't report, oh, I should have worked more. Oh, I should have made more money. They look back on their life and they remember the little times, the times where they walk their kids to school, not all the birthday parties and weddings, but those little days, the little insignificant days, those are the
The
ones that
moment,
make up our life, right? And for me,
those
that
tiny
really rings
moments.
true. Yeah. And I really, with my kids, they're in school 9 to 3, so that's kind of my work time. And I walk them to school every morning, hand in hand, and pick them up walking. And it's truly it's my most favorite time of day because we're looking at the squirrels and the trees. We're pointing to the grass. My daughters love to point out all the different flowers and animals they see. And it's such a fully present moment that then we get home and it's like, make a snack, do this, clean your room, draw this, let's go here. It's all kinds of chaos. And I love the feeling of just knowing that our lives are made up of these little moments and we don't need to schedule them all in all the time. We can just give ourselves that okay and green light to be present in those moments because they're fleeting, and especially if we
Yes,
miss them.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. And Melissa joined us. Hi, Melissa.
Hi.
Uh, I I would love to have an opportunity to get you back again because you have so many nuggets that I feel like, watching this over and over again, I think there's at least six nuggets that you've given. And because there were things happening around me, I wasn't able to give you my full undivided attention, and you really deserve that. Julie Hatch, yay,
Thank
Julie
you.
just joined
Hey,
us.
Julie. You know what? I would
And
really love, you or anyone else listening to tune into the Fit Mama podcast because that
oh,
is where I am
yay.
sharing these wisdom love bombs and truth nuggets
Oh,
all over the
perfect.
town. Yeah. So I have the Fit Mama podcast is the work into your workout. So it's really about the mind body piece, that reconnecting with yourself, the thoughts you have, the words you say, the things that actually matter because in the fitness industry, we're so focused on the superficial food and fitness aspects. And I really take it to the next level with the Fit Mama Foundations and the podcast to say, hey, what's underneath that? What has to come before you have to go to the gym, have to go to the gym? You won't even need to push yourself to the gym if these things are in place and you're entirely motivated, inspired, and not depleted in the rest of your life so that you can just make that
Absolutely.
happen. And it feels easy, right? It's all about feeling easy.
Yeah, that's super fabulous. And Penny Fox just joined us. I wanted to say hi to Penny. And so how do we get to your podcast and
So
where do we
you
find your
can,
book? And
yeah, so
yes.
you can find it all at jenoliver.com, or you can find me on Facebook at Love Jen Oliver, or on Instagram, Love Jen Oliver. And you can send me a message on my Instagram. It has a link tree, so there's a ton of links, but everything's at jenoliver.com, including the link to the face or to the podcast. So yes.
Fabulous.
Yeah,
Yay.
thank you
And then
so
can you come
much.
be a
It's
quick friend
always a
too?
treat to
Oh,
see you.
yeah, you're just amazing. I didn't even realize how many nuggets that you have that
Oh,
don't
I
just
got
apply
lots.
to fit mamas. I'm thinking, oh well, she's a
No,
mama and she's doing the fit mama thing, but oh my
no.
gosh, you hit some real good pain points and things
Thank
that
you.
I teach and have been forgetting. So
Yes.
it was perfect timing to have you here again. And
Oh,
Melissa, thank you
thank
so much for saying that we're
you.
amazing,
Oh,
and you
thank
are.
you. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And you are too. Thank you. And I'd love to be on again. Feel free anytime. It's always a treat.
All
Thanks,
right. Well, wonderful
Gwen.
having Jen Oliver as my special guest for day 157 of
Yay.
365 days of Ask How Do You Love Yourself
Congratulations.
Today? And today I love myself by being reminded by the lovely Jen Oliver of the places that I've forgotten, like loving what I am instead of, and those in my life the way they are now, instead of trying to say, oh, I wish they were different, because
Yep.
then it would fit in with my core values. You just got to love them the way they are, and that helps you love you the
Exactly.
way you are. So go
Yes.
and go love yourself.
Yay.
And thanks
Yes.
again, Jen, for being my wonderful guest.
Thank
Bye
you,
bye.
Gwen. Bye.